The smile.
And still undefeated, Gervonta Tank Davis.
What'd you think, man?
No.
No?
I think it was a great fight. I think it was a great fight. It was amazing.
Tank is the best fighter in the world. Tank's the best fighter in the world. And his team's been saying it.
Let his hands go, impose his will, but he got to put his chin down. He got to be defensive minded. And Tank, great game plan.
Yeah, actually, no, that was a beautiful knockout. I ain't gonna lie, that was a beautiful knockout. That was beautiful.
How do you set it up in your eyes? How'd you see him?
But
What do you think about Gervonta?
I think Gervonta did good. I think he waited a little bit. I think I feel like he gets them tired first until he explodes on them.
You gotta be there with him. If you're not mentally strong, that's what's gonna happen. He's gonna break you down.
Anything else that Ryan could have done differently throughout the fight?
I just feel like he just fought the wrong fight. He was following him around one.
The fight went exactly as I would say 100% of us expected it to go. I don't think there was very many people that
First, you know what I'm saying, he held his defense up pretty high, so he was able to maintain for a long time. But I think that whenever Tank was ready to close the gaps, he closed.
He tried to fight, but he was unsuccessful. But it is what it is. He so happened to him, he got knocked out.
This performance, what do you think about Gervonta?
I think Gervonta did good. I think he waited a little bit. I think I feel like he gets them tired first until he explodes on them all crazy.
What next match would you like to see for him? Maybe a Shakur fight, possibly a David?
Tank's always shown that he's very well equipped with skills and he's strong. So I'm assuming that punch really was the factor.
It's close, but that's what he was all about. You feel me? Rolly got a little comfortable.
it was an ugly fight. It could have been either way, but Tank got him out of
Monster, the modern day Mike Tyson.
What do you think is next for Tank Davis after this? What would you like to see?
I mean, listen, put him in big fights. He's ready for everybody.
Not too much.
What did you think about Tank's power tonight? Did you think he was winning the fight up until the stoppage?
I mean, it was close, but like I say, man, he got a lot of experience, so he's really just setting it up.
You got to go back up there.
Setting it up, taking his time. Taking his time, just setting it up.
You know, he made a mistake and got a little froggy. He showed the world that he could outbox the champion, and he outboxed him. But thank you, appreciate that. But you know, Tank is a champion for a reason. I told him he has timing and he has experience. Time and experience is a very.
The fight we had all been waiting for finally went down, and just like many predicted, Gerona Tank Davis walked away with another dominant win. This time, it was Lamont Roach who stepped up and got knocked down, just like so many before him. Roach talked big in the lead-up, claiming he had what it took to stop Tank. But once that bell rang, reality hit, and not as hard as Tank's punches. Roach entered the ring with confidence, believing he had the perfect game plan to expose Tank's flaws. But just like the 30 before him, he quickly realized there are levels to this sport.
I'm gonna do me regardless. I told him to leave his mom's and, you know, the people home, and he still brung them. It's crazy, man. It's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad, man.
The moment Tank figured him out, it was game over. A few powerful shots later, Roach had no answers left. The fight ended exactly how most expected. Tank victorious, untouched, and still undefeated. But surprisingly, the buzz after the fight wasn't about Tank's performance. No one seemed all that impressed, especially not the big names sitting ringside. Watching from the front row were Terrence "Bud" Crawford, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and the man pulling the strings behind boxing's biggest bouts lately, Turkic Alalshik.
We're gonna make sure, tell Terrence Crawford keep his name out your mouth. You know what I mean? He talking crazy. He talking crazy. You think about that one?
Nah, it was just some, talking on some Twitter, like back and forth.
And from their reactions, it was obvious. They weren't amazed by what they saw. Crawford, never one to bite his tongue, summed it up in just a few words: just another win to look good. For months, Crawford has been openly critical of Tank's choice of opponents. In his eyes, Tank has been playing it safe, protecting that undefeated record instead of truly testing himself. Crawford believes Tank is ducking real challenges and focusing more on image than legacy.
For you, Tank, at 147, how does a fight with you and Terrence Crawford look?
147?
147.
Shit, I tapped that trend. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he is.
He's just arrogant, Crawford said when asked about Tank's latest win. He wants all the attention, sure, but he should be giving fans real fights, not just trying to look flashy in the ring. Crawford hasn't held back in calling out what he sees as Tank's avoidance of true competition. And has made it clear, in his opinion, there's only one man who can beat Tank, Shakur Stevenson. He's called Shakur Tank's kryptonite, a fighter with the defense, ring IQ, and skill set to neutralize Tank's power and completely outbox him. And tonight, it seemed like Turkic Alalshik might agree. In the middle of the post-fight chatter, Turkic dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Tank has officially signed on for 2 major fights this year. And these aren't just any fights. These are the ones fans have been begging for. Turkic didn't reveal the names outright, but it didn't take long for the boxing world to start connecting the dots. For months, Turkic has been in deep talks with Tank's camp, pushing for bigger, legacy-defining bouts. And now, it's happening. The fight everyone's been talking about, Tank versus Devin Haney, is finally within reach. And right behind it, a showdown with Shakur Stevenson. No more tune-ups. No more safe matchups. Tank Davis is finally stepping into the fire, and the fans are ready.
Devin, thoughts on the fight? Thoughts on the fight, Devin?
Devin Haney, the current undisputed champion, has been calling for this fight for a long time. He believes he's the best at 135 pounds and has never been shy about saying he's the one who can beat Gerona Tank Davis. To Haney, all the hype around Tank? It's just that, hype. He's convinced he can outbox him, break him down round by round, and prove once and for all that skill beats power. Shakur Stevenson has been just as vocal. He's long claimed that Tank is being protected, his opponents carefully handpicked to keep him undefeated. But now, with Turkic Alalshik confirming that 2 massive fights are locked in, Shakur knows his moment is finally coming. The excuses are gone. No more tune-ups. No more ducking. The biggest threats in the division are now unavoidable. And just when it seemed like the night couldn't get any wilder, boom. Oscar de la Hoya steps in with a bombshell. Tank vs Ryan Garcia 2 is officially in the works. No date yet, but it's happening. Ryan has been pushing for a rematch ever since their first clash ended. He's always believed he wasn't at his best that night, blaming the weight cut and his mistakes and promising it'll be a different story next time. Since then, Ryan's been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Social media meltdowns, legal drama, and non-stop criticism from the boxing world. But now, he sees this rematch as his shot at redemption.
You know, in all of boxing, in regards to where you're at in your weight class and how you consistently are just knocking guys out, what's that feeling like when you do?
I feel like
Oscar de la Hoya didn't waste a second turning up the hype. According to him, Ryan is coming back into the ring with fire, and this time, he could be a serious problem for Tank, or even for Devin Haney. De La Hoya's been loud about Ryan's raw talent, saying his combination of power and speed makes him a dangerous threat to anyone at 135. And with all the chaos around Ryan lately, this rematch might just be the moment he reminds the world he's still here, and he's still a contender. But the bigger picture isn't just these individual matchups. It's what all of this means for Tank's future. Not long ago, there were whispers that Tank wasn't interested in working with Turkic, that he wanted to stay independent, call his own shots, and avoid being tied down. But everything's changed.
Saying I drank, no I did not. He was eating the day before. Like, we had a media workout. He was eating at his media workout, bro. I wasn't even eating at my media workout. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just, he tricked the people like, yeah, I'm draining. No, you wasn't. I just made him have to work.
Now, Tank is all in, and that changes everything. Because Turkic Alalshik isn't just another promoter. He's not just a big name in the sport. He's the guy who's actually making boxing move. He's putting up the money, closing the deals, and making sure the best fight the best. With Tank now working directly with him, the biggest fights in the division aren't just possible, they're guaranteed. Haney Shakur Ryan, these aren't just dream fights anymore, they're on the schedule.
He didn't know how good I was and how I would have handled the situation, so he just threw me out there. He was hurt. I mean, not even hurt, he just...
And Crawford? He knew it. That's why he was there ringside, watching it all unfold. For months, he's been pushing for these fights, demanding that Tank step up and face the real elite. And now, with Turkic at the helm, there's no more hiding, no more cherry-picking, no more easy routes. Tonight, Tank made a statement. He reminded the world that he's still the king of the division, still the one with the power, still the man to beat. But now the real test begins. Because no matter how many knockouts he racks up, no matter how long that undefeated streak lasts, none of it matters unless he can beat the best. And with Haney, Shakur, and Ryan all lined up, we're finally going to find out. Is Gerona Tank Davis really as untouchable as he claims to be?
It was a professional versus an amateur.
It felt like a pro facing an amateur. That's how clear the gap was. The thing with Devonta Tank Davis fights is you always know what's coming. You just don't know when. The knockout is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. And at the weigh-in, Tank knew it too. Calm, cool, same as always. Got to give them what they want to see, he told the crowd. He didn't need to say much. He never does. His fists speak louder than words. For Lamont Roach, the real question wasn't about winning, it was about surviving. Could he last long enough to make it interesting? Could he avoid the one shot that ends everything? Could he shock the world? It was a long shot, but Roach believed, and so did the people around him.
Boxer. For everybody to be talking shit to Gervonta, it don't be coming out good for them, my nigga. I'm just keeping it real.
He obviously a superstar, but just because it's who he is, this don't change no program that I got going on. I'm here to win, I've been coming to win, and I think the same result will happen on December the 14th.
At the weigh-in, Roach came in right on the limit, 135 pounds. Tank was slightly under at 133.8, looking a bit drained. It got people talking. Maybe Roach had an edge. Maybe the weight cut hit Tank harder than usual. Roach was feeling himself. I told him, "This is real," he said after the face-off. "I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and I can't wait for everyone to see it." Promoter Tom Brown was selling it hard. Champion versus champion. Baltimore versus DC. Who's the bigger man tonight? He made it sound like a real 50-50 clash. But in reality, it wasn't. Roach's team had confidence too. His co-promoter Gary Jonas kept repeating the same thing: Roach isn't scared. He'd known Tank since they were kids. Fought him twice in the amateurs. That's the edge, Jonas said. He's not like those other guys who get intimidated. But here's the truth. Knowing Tank doesn't mean you can stop Tank. Roach had stepped up in weight. He was facing a monster, 28 knockouts in 30 fights. This wasn't just about technique. It was about power. And Tank had it in buckets. Roach was good, technically sharp. But to win this, he had to be flawless. For 12 full rounds.
Would you consider you and Gervonta friends?
Friends? Probably.
Is it going to be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all going to be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I just make him bleed.
I'm sure.
And then there was the bet. After the weigh-in, Tank and Roach apparently made a wager. Lip readers tried to decode it. Some said $20,000. Others guessed $250,000. Nobody knew for sure. Maybe Roach really believed he had a chance. Maybe he just wanted to prove a point. Either way, it didn't age well. He carried that confidence into every interview. Sitting back on a Zoom call with DAZN, he was cool and composed. I have no doubt in myself, my skills, my strength, my will, he said. We're going to put it all together. He promised a performance that would define his career. It might not even look the way people expect, he added. It's going to be a real spectacle.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant.
And to all the critics, he didn't care. They'll just have to wait and see, he said. For real, I couldn't care less about their doubts. He spoke like a man on a mission. Like someone who truly believed he was about to shock the world, but belief alone doesn't win fights. When that bell rang, reality stepped in. And it hit hard. Roach tried. He really did. He had his moments. A few flashes of sharp work. But they weren't enough. Tank did what he always does. Took his time, found his range, and when the opening came, he closed the show. After the fight, Roach wasn't the same.
It's gonna be a party
and
on your
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking.
How you gonna say it's cap?
It gotta be.
You gonna say it's cap? I'm watching it.
The fire Roach had before the fight, it was gone. Dimmed after the loss, he was already talking about stepping away, maybe for good. The confidence he carried into the ring, that fearless energy, it vanished. This was always going to be the fight, the biggest moment of his career, his one shot at greatness. But just like so many before him, when the moment came, he fell short. Now, the conversation has shifted. No one's talking about Lamont Roach anymore. All eyes are on what comes next. The road ahead for Tank Davis. And that road begins with one name. Shakur Stevenson. That's the matchup the boxing world is begging for. No more safe fights. No more delays. No more what ifs. Just the biggest, boldest, most skilled fighters in the division, finally colliding. So what do you think? Will we finally see the fights we've all been waiting for? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a second of the action.